Good day, everyone! Your ability to communicate comes from experiences, and today, the lesson you are about to learn will offer you an experience of expressing yourself effectively using conditional sentences. This lesson will help you understand when and how to use conditional sentences correctly. You will learn about its different types and its grammatical structures. This will also help you feel confident about the way you express your thoughts, ideas, or arguments when you speak. You can learn from this lesson and be a more effective communicator. This is Ma'am Lyramae M. Gacili from Villa Concepcion High School, Bacolod Extension, and I will be your teacher for today. Before we start, get your module, grab your pen and notebook, go to a comfortable place and tune in to DWDYAM and CMD Cable Channel 1. We are also streaming live at SDO Kawayan Facebook page. I hope you are now ready. We use conditionals to explain what actually happens, what could happen, what we wish would happen, and what might have happened. First, let us take a look at this sentence. If it rains, the ground gets wet. The sentence uses two clauses separated by a comma, and it uses the conjunction if. Remember, a clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a predicate or a verb. If it rains, the ground gets wet. The first clause is called the if clause, which is the event or situation that must happen in order for the other thing to happen. And the second clause is called the result clause or the main clause, which is the event that can only happen if the if clause occurs. That is exactly why it is called conditional sentence. This time, we shall focus on the four types of conditional sentences. The first one is the zero conditional. The zero conditional is used when the time being referred to is now or always, and the situation is real and possible. The zero conditional is often used to refer to general truths. The tense in both parts of the sentence is in the simple present. If I get well, I go to the sports festival. If plus the verb in the if clause is in the simple present, and the verb in the main clause is in the simple present. In zero conditional sentences, the word if can usually be replaced by the word when without changing its meaning. If I get well, I go to the doctor. When I get well, I go to the doctor. The two sentences still have the same meaning. Remember, for the if clause, we have if plus simple present. And for the result clause, we have simple present. If this thing happens, that thing happens. Here are other examples. If you hit ice, it melts. If you mix yellow and blue, you get green. The second one is the first conditional. The first conditional is used to refer to present or future where the situation is real. The first conditional refers to a possible condition and its probable result. In these sentences, the if clause is in the simple present and the main clause is in the simple future. If I get well, I will go to the sports festival. If plus the verb in the if clause is in the simple present, and the verb in the main clause is in the simple future. Will plus verb on its infinitive form or in base form. Remember, for the if clause we have if plus simple present, and for the result clause we have will plus verb on its infinitive form. If this thing happens, that thing will happen. Here are other examples. If I go to the market, I will buy what you want. If you win, I will give you a prize. Next is the second conditional. The second conditional is used to refer to a time that is now or any time, and a situation that is unreal. These sentences are not based on facts. The second conditional is used to refer to a hypothetical condition and its probable result. In the second conditional sentence, the if clause uses the simple past and the main clause uses the present conditional. If I get well, I would go to the sports festival. If plus the verb on the if clause is in the simple past, and the verb on the main clause is in the present conditional. Would plus verb on its infinitive or base form. Remember, for the if clause we have if plus simple past. For the result clause we have would plus verb infinitive. If this thing happened, that thing would happen. But I'm not sure this thing will happen or that thing would be happening. Here are other examples. If I had a calculator, I would lend it to you, but I do not have a calculator. Or, if I lived in Japan, I would have sushi every day. However, I do not live in Japan. There are cases where if is followed by the verb be. So we use the past tense of the be verb, which is was or were in this case. Example, if I were you, I wouldn't mention it. If she was rich, she would invest more money in school. Lastly, we have the third conditional. The third conditional is used to refer to a time that is in the past and a situation that is contrary to reality. The facts they are based on are the opposite of what is expressed. The third conditional is used to refer to an unreal past condition and its probable past result. In type 3 conditional sentence, the if clause uses the past perfect and the main clause uses perfect conditional. If I had been well, I would have gone to the sports festival. If plus the verb in the if clause is in the past perfect tense and the verb in the main clause uses the perfect conditional. Would have plus past participle. Let us have a little review about past perfect tense. Past perfect tense indicates that an action was completed, finished, or perfected at some point in the past. This tense is formed with the past tense of to have, which is had, plus the past participle of the verb, which can be either regular or irregular in form. Examples: had called, had chased, had visited, had left, had been, had met. For past participle, it refers to an action that was started and completed in the past. For regular verbs, adding ed to the base form creates the past participle. Example, cook, cook. Past participles formed from irregular verbs may have endings like en, t, d, and n. Examples include swollen, burnt, hoped, and broken. Some past participles remain the same as the base forms of irregular verbs, like set and cut. Remember, for the if clause, we have if plus past perfect, which is had plus past participle. For the result clause, we have would have plus past participle. Aside from would have, you may also use could have and might have. If this thing happens, that thing would have happened, but neither of those things really happened, or that thing would have been happening. Here are other examples. If you had told me about it, I would have helped you. If they had studied harder, they would have passed the test. Take note, you can also interchange the position of the if clause and the result clause in a sentence without changing the meaning. If the result clause or the main clause comes first, there is no need to put a comma between the two clauses. Just like the following sentences. The television will turn on if you press the power button. I will give you a prize if you win. I would have sushi every day if I lived in Japan. That's all for the 4 types of conditional sentences. Let's sum it up. We have the zero conditionals. The zero conditionals is used to express general truths. For the if clause, the verb tense is in the simple present. And for the main clause, the verb tense is also in the simple present. For the first type of conditionals, we use it to express a possible condition and its probable result. For the if clause, the verb tense is in the simple present. And for the main clause, the verb tense is in the simple future. Or we have will plus the verb on its infinitive form or base form. We also have the second conditionals. The second conditionals is used to express a hypothetical condition and its probable result. For the if clause, the verb tense is in the simple past. And in the main clause, the verb tense is in the present conditional or present continuous conditional. Would plus verb on its infinitive form or base form. Lastly, we have the third conditional. The third conditional is used to express an unreal past condition and its probable result in the past. For the if clause, the verb tense is in the past perfect, which is had plus past participle. For the main clause, the verb tense is in the perfect conditional, which is would have plus past participle. Aside from would have, you may also use could have and might have. For you to master our lesson, here is a YouTube video from Flyway English about conditional sentences.
Zero conditional. If and the present simple in condition, present simple and the result. When the result is always true, a fact. If you respect the planet, you recycle your rubbish. If you don't recycle your rubbish, you don't respect the planet. If you drive a car, you probably use petrol. If you don't drive a car, you probably don't use petrol. First conditional. If and the present simple in condition and the result with will or won't. The result of probable situations. If we clean the oceans, the fish will live. If we don't clean the oceans, the fish won't live. If we plant more trees, the forests will grow. Unless we plant more trees, the forests won't grow. Second conditional. If and past simple in condition and would or wouldn't in result. The result of improbable situations. If the North Pole melted tomorrow, your city could be underwater. If you didn't have a boat, you wouldn't like that. If you went to space, you would need a spacesuit. If we didn't have the ozone layer, the sun would burn us. If unless. Respect, recycle, drive, use, clean, live, plant, grow, melt, be, have, like, go, need, earn. 0, first, and second conditionals.
We are facing a difficult situation today because of this global pandemic called COVID-19. Based from the given phrases on your module on pages 19 to 20, what advice, reminder, or lesson can you give to everyone using conditional sentences? You may use any type of conditional sentence in your answer, but make sure to write the type of conditional you used after. Here are sample phrases. Use alcohol. If you use alcohol, you kill the bacteria. That is in the 0 conditional. Another, follow rule. If you followed the rule, you would stay at home. That is in the 2nd conditional. The other phrases are, wash hands regularly, stay at home, wear face mask, social distancing, and exercise regularly. Write your answers on your answer sheets. Well, that is how we end up our lesson for today. If you have questions, you may go back and scan your module, or you may contact your teachers for clarifications. I hope that you will be able to apply the learnings from this lesson in the kinds of situations and conversations you are likely to encounter. We are about to end. Again, check your module and do the remaining activities. Afterwards, proceed to the assessment part. These activities will be done at home at your own pace. Again, this is Ma'am Lyra for Bamboo Telescuela, bringing education in the comfort of your home. Goodbye and be safe, everyone!